Hey everybody, my name is Christopher, Director of Client Relations with Entigrity Offshore Staffing. See that building? Ernst & Young, Thomson Reuters. I'm in Midtown Manhattan. They've been offshoring for decades. Why haven't you? So what I want to go over with you today is about a dozen or so video client testimonials. They're each going to talk about a specific topic here. And you should listen in because it's very relevant, very candid, and they're fellow colleagues of yours. So the first one, everyone's experience with outsourcing is awesome, right? Not so much. Hear from our clients and their responses. Take a look.
Our prior experience with outsourcing wasn't all that great. Early on, we tried outsourcing tax work.
It didn't turn out great, to be honest. It was done in a black box, and we were not really able to work with the team that was working on our stuff.
A few years later, we tried bookkeeping, but it was kind of the same thing.
I did not like it. And the primary reason I didn't like it is because in outsourcing, you really don't know who's doing the work on the other side.
We had been working with several companies that were more of outsourced companies, and they had a large staff of people. You never know who you were working with.
You don't know how competent they are. The staff on the other side keeps rotating. You can't really form a relationship.
We tried it, but there's a lot of inefficiencies as far as the management of the workflow and also the end product and the deliverables, but not at the results that we expected.
Outsourcing doesn't work for me. I want the opportunity to select my staff. I want to choose the person that fits my firm.
But what I can honestly say is, what I liked about Entigrity and their model is you really have a dedicated staff person. We actually interviewed that staff person. We tested that staff person. So we kind of had an idea of what the work product was going to be, what the end product was going to be.
This way I get the accuracy and the consistency of the same person doing my work the way I want it done and under my direction. And then I also benefit from the learning curve. As the staff person learns more, I get the benefit of that increased skill and knowledge.
And having a dedicated staff is just, that's the best.
Collaborating, communicating, and monitoring supervision with your associates is very important. See how these clients of ours agree.
Communication is most important. Unlike you speak with your office colleagues directly, now technology has taken over all that.
Having video conferencing and being able to talk to people makes it a lot easier to work with them.
Working with Entigrity, I think has really been great from the viewpoint that I get immediate feedback, from the staff over there when I ask it.
My folks here in Sugar Land, in Texas, interact with them on a daily basis. They're really no different than maybe having someone working in Dallas or Austin or someone like that as part of our team. So it's been a positive experience.
There's really no difference. They pop in the office, they turn on their camera, just start talking and working through solutions, sharing screens. It's been great.
I don't believe there's any actual communication challenges. Based on my experience, our remote staff spoke pretty decent English.
Here, all your communications happen over phone, Skype, instant messaging or video calling. But still, you've got to communicate regularly.
I would say I didn't necessarily experience a language barrier per se, because I interviewed the staff. I had an option to interview different people.
So the fact that we were able to invite the folks from Entigrity into our virtual office, just like we would any other team member in the States, made working with them very easy.
To my surprise, the English was actually pretty good.
Again, it only works because I'm asking the questions and I'm trying to get feedback, and I'm even asking them to slow down when we have meetings, or even if I'm not clear on an email. Patience is everything.
Communication's been excellent with Entigrity. There was, some expectation with slight language differences, accent, but there really hasn't been any issue so far.
Working with a company who has a long-standing reputation as reliable, credible, and fully transparent operations is something we have showcased since day one. Listen to the feedback here from our clients.
After working with Entigrity, we have acquired 2 firms and our revenue has almost doubled, and we are continuing to move forward in the same direction.
Now we have more people to look after work, and we can spend more time with family and personal time.
And my core team has much free time. We do many activities together. I'm able to provide better incentive and benefits to my core team.
It's satisfying for me that my average work week is 25 to 30 hours a week now, and I'd like to keep it that way if Entigrity is by my side.
The nice thing is because you get to work with Entigrity and the hours overlap and you can talk to the person.
Our U.S. accounting personnel assigns the work to our remote staff, and while we're sleeping, these folks are getting our work done, and it's back to our U.S. staff in the morning.
We set up folders of work assignments we need Peter to have done for us. We put them in by the end of the day. We come back in the next morning and the work's ready in the folder, ready for us to continue the processing.
We know that we have a team that is able to come in while we're still sleeping.
The key here is they know how to do the work and their learning curve has improved.
We usually stay busy year round, so the fact that we all have more time for our personal lives has been very beneficial.
In addition to that, it's allowed us the time that we now know that we can increase our staff with very little interruption, because by using the system we're using now, we find ourselves with more time to be picking up more clients by having the better ability to market our services more efficiently and effectively.
It's amazing. It's worked out very well.
In fact, if I have my laptop and Wi-Fi, I can manage my work from pretty much anywhere. I can communicate, review, get everything done, really easily, and it's just changed my professional life.
Offshore hiring enables our clients to have long-term stability while complementing their onshore team for scalable growth. You're probably looking for that as well. Listen here.
The biggest thing that we did to make sure that the team felt welcome from Entigrity and that there was no cultural divides was having them in our virtual office.
Think of them as your own core team. You never treat them like a third party. You don't treat them like a machine, just the way your people working for you.
To find a person that would then be really my staff and part of my team, that I could always form a relationship no differently than if that person was sitting in my office.
We always had the new staff hired through Integrity's adequate hand-holding and time to align with the firm's operations, really just the same way it would be with any other staff that we would hire locally.
The staff worked as our own team, like any other team member.
As the staff person learns more, I get the benefit of that increased skill and knowledge.
By now, they have taken responsibility for more core work and have integrated with my in-house team here.
So our remote staff has literally become an integral part of our entire operations.
And at the end of the day, once you hire them, you need to expect that it'll take them some time to get used to it, and you have to treat them as part of the team.
And just the way any incoming staff will require some initial time to settle down and settle in, we trained our remote staff, and he is working out fine, really great.
This way, I get the accuracy and the consistency of the same person doing my work the way I want it done and under my direction.
Working with a company who has a long-standing reputation as reliable, credible, and fully transparent operations is something we have showcased since day one. Listen to the feedback here from our clients.
Entigrity Remote Staffing helps you staff people who work remotely from their office and are qualified and experienced.
They have a good understanding of the U.S. tax code and the software, different software applications that we use to prepare U.S. tax returns, including state income tax returns.
I like how diligent he is and how willing he is to take, receive criticism and to apply it going forward so he doesn't make the same mistakes twice. He's very easygoing, he's diligent, he's very responsive, which is one of the things that I really enjoy. It's very nice to deal with one person as opposed to a group of people.
Well, we wanted to make sure that we got someone who was familiar with our tax software, CCH Access, and someone who had a deep knowledge of the tax preparation that we would provide for our clients.
We use a specific tax software, and the staff already knew about it, and I made sure that when I was interviewing the staff that they knew how to handle the software.
I got quality people that were very well educated and good at what they do.
So my offshore staff can handle pretty much anything. They can handle admin role, client follow-ups, billing, even 5 to 6 other tasks that are generally perceived that these people can't do.
Bill pay, bank reconciliations, journal entries, all those kind of normal accounting things that happen on a recurring basis.
In a nutshell, my offshore team is my team that can do 90% of the tasks that my office team can do.
I've really not had any downtime from them having to learn our processes.
The next one here, I've heard this from many, many clients. We just simply don't work remotely because productivity is reduced. They're just not in the office. Well, our associates are committed to our clients and understand the fiduciary responsibility that they have. Listen here.
With Entigrity, you get qualified candidates who have a culture of working hard and giving it their all, as long as you also, show your commitment to them and challenge them. And at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everybody.
My dedicated staff has offered suggestions for improving workflow, and I have Max communicate directly with clients as well, which has been amazing.
Spent several months getting all of the bookkeeping caught up, and now it's caught up, and I would say almost on a real-time basis.
And they're so good. There have been 2-3 occasions when we've had a rush project. They've actually stayed even longer, so it's really, they've pulled an all-nighter more than once to help us out.
They understand that throughout the year there's going to be times of overtime necessary, so they have been able to change their working hours to better accommodate us during deadlines.
I gotta tell you, the work quality that I received from this candidate, who I did eventually hire and then just recently brought him on full-time, was remarkable.
But more than that, there's been no backlog of work.
The staff that has worked with us from India that doing the tax work, they've really have done a good job in getting the tax returns done.
I've really not had any downtime from them having to learn our processes.
He was able to work overtime, including Saturdays during tax season.
And the work get done in a quality and timely manner, and they definitely demonstrated that.
Entigrity Remote Staffing Solutions has greatly benefited us.
$9 an hour? $10 an hour? What type of experience do they have? Sounds like a lot of training is going to be involved, right? Not so much. Our clients describe the tasks they are doing for them on a daily basis.
During my research, I found that they worked with a lot of accountants, smaller to larger businesses, larger firms, and did reference check, everything checked out, and then dug further through their website and found the case studies, the client success stories, which I didn't see on any other competitors' sites.
Entigrity really was quite interesting from the viewpoint as to purely working with accounting firms.
Since credibility was paramount, we did our due diligence. We checked their online presence, and only then we decided that we would take one baby step.
Yes, I've done my due diligence. Not only that, I've actually visited the facility.
They are, first of all, point of contact. They understood our staffing needs, where we need solid work in our bookkeeping and accounting matters. They have tremendous security, tremendous understanding. They're very fluent in English, and it's easy to talk to them, and the work quality that they provide is wonderful.
We flew to India. I took 2 senior staff members with me, and we visited the Entigrity offices in India. We found them to be very secure.
No pads, no pencils, controlled access from one area to another and so forth. And I was quite feeling a lot more comfortable after that visit that yes, I've done my due diligence and I know that this is a professional team and they take security very seriously.
I was literally amazed by the policies and controls that they have in place. They are completely paperless, fully digital. Everything is monitored on CCTV.
I was impressed and somewhat surprised by the fact that the employees were not allowed to have any phones or iPads or iPod, any kind of communication devices.
They too had robust compliance, and everything was super tight in terms of access.
And I left that visit in India with a good feeling that hey, Entigrity is as safe as a bank.
I was evaluating a few companies as I was doing more research, and Entigrity definitely would score just about 100. And the next best option would probably score 20.
Do your due diligence just like I did, but at the end of the day you're going to discover that it's both the cost efficient and effective way to do things, and also you get the most skilled staff for what you're doing.
You simply treat our associates like they are yours. They're not robots or interchangeable parts. They are the long-term solutions for these valued clients. Listen in.
As I'm expanding and getting more and more clients in, I'm just going with Entigrity and staffing that way.
So for me, Integrity's remote staffing is a long-term solution that supports the growth of our firm, and it also helps us retain our existing team.
We're quite happy with the results, and we look forward to expanding the relationship in the future.
It's a solution where I can build an efficient team in the long run and not have just a temporary or seasonal solution.
In the long run, our hope is to continue to leverage the Entigrity team as we grow. As I mentioned, our intent is to continue to grow, hopefully, at the tune of 7 to 10 team members a year, and we would match that with an Entigrity team member as well.
With Entigrity, without facing any such challenge, we have established our team in India. We are even foreseeing expanding this to a team of 25 people in the next 2 years.
How important is cost savings to you? Just last year, Entigrity saved our clients over $61 million in comparison to hiring locally for the same profile. Hear for yourself.
First off, the pricing and the flexibility made the decision easy. It was what I was looking for.
So some evident and appealing reasons for me were that I could hire someone at an hour, not have to worry about compliance, payroll taxes, benefits, dozens of other hassles.
And what's best is it comes at a fraction of the cost compared to local hiring, and it's secure too.
You get someone who's qualified and you don't have to go through all the costs of it, and pretty much the hiring process is free.
When I dug further, I realized that this didn't just save cost, but actually help expand my practice.
We're a very profitable firm because of the fact that we're utilizing remote staff, so it cuts down on the overhead tremendously.
Finally, with staffing always being the #1 hurdle for accounting firms, our clients used to be overworked, understaffed, many late nights in the office, capacity issues, turning work away. Not anymore.
When I hire someone on my own, it's very time consuming.
I needed something flexible where I can increase during the peak season and then reduce it as things slow down. So this was definitely a very good and flexible environment for me.
I have a dedicated staff that has learned my clients, learned the way I like to work, and it's a pay-as-you-go. So with the project-based work, we can ramp up and ramp down.
I don't have to go through the painful process of screening numerous resumes, conducting dozens of interviews. Instead, Integrity's recruitment team filters them out for me. I interview or test only those candidates who actually meet criteria.
We interviewed 3 of the accountants, and even though we were looking for just one person at the time, we ended up bringing on 2 of those people.
They interviewed first to shortlist for us, and then we interviewed. We asked him, a lot of questions, and we performed tests as well. So that really was a properly evaluated hire.
But the whole process was very easy, it was very fast, very effortless, versus the other options of going into logging and posting ads on Indeed.com or Monster.com or these other job boards, and then fishing through a bunch of resumes when you have a bunch of unqualified people.
We ended up interviewing some of the staff that we'd be working with. We selected a staff member, Peter, to work with us. Peter had a little bit more senior qualities. He had been working in tax and accounting and some other areas, and we selected Peter to work with us.
They found the right people for me to interview, spent the time, allowed me to ask all kinds of questions and so forth. All of that process was very, very comforting.
With Entigrity, they screen everything for you.
They were very easy to work with, the onboarding was simple, and I was able to choose who my dedicated staff was.
Had I had to hire somebody else outside of Entigrity, let's say somebody who's local here in the US, I would have to hire a new person probably for tax season every single year. I would also have to invest time in training them.
But as we interviewed or tested various candidates, we were able to find the right one for us.
What I liked about Entigrity, their model is you really have a dedicated staff person. We actually interviewed that staff person. We tested that staff person.
Resumes, I picked a couple, had the interview with them, and I got to learn each about them. I took notes. I asked them very specific questions, and once I got a feel for who they were, I then sent them a short exam.
With the individual we hired, he was very skilled, had a skill set with those items, and the transition was easy and really took the load off of us in a busy tax season.
We interviewed a few candidates and selected the one that met our requirements.
Are you hesitant about remote staffing? That's understandable. Almost every one of these videos starts the same way. These clients had felt the same way in the beginning, but watch as they now give their full recommendation for us.
Been very happy with the accuracy, the completeness of the work.
Well, I'd say people need to look at this with an open mind, because this is the way the world is operating now, and it's going to, obviously, in the future.
I view Entigrity as an extension of my firm. We will stay associated, definitely in the foreseeable future.
Is that you have an open mind, you explore, try Integrity's concept, and at least once, it's very easy and very effortless.
And I had a great experience in my time working with Entigrity.
I'm very happy with this relationship. It's what I'm looking for.
So I'm thankful to Entigrity and my entire remote team for being such a great help.
Entigrity is great, fantastic for me. I mean, they've changed my practice. And it's not just Entigrity as the company, it's my team that I am building and continuing to build, and they're special people and they work very hard.
Absolutely. A 100% wholehearted recommendation.
Honestly, it's been a life-changing idea for me.
I would highly recommend using Entigrity services.
Yes, I would recommend Entigrity to other accounting firms. I actually already have.
And I think it's the best move we've ever made.
I would never recommend because, well, I don't want other firms extracting the same advantages and benefits that we have. I'm just kidding, of course. I would definitely love to recommend Entigrity.
I would recommend Entigrity.
I recommend Entigrity to all small and mid-sized accounting firms.
So definitely recommend Entigrity to any small accounting firm looking to grow and scale their business.
They're a great solution. I highly recommend them.